You walk into the saloon exhausted, dust on your boots, and find out there's only a single dollar tucked in your coat lining. With it, you could order a simple shot, maybe a glass of watered-down beer. But the real deal isn't in the glass. It's in what the bartender trades for talk, information, and opportunity. How far can that dollar take you on the frontier? In the forming West, where gold and revolvers set the pace, starting with the price of a night makes sense. In the second half of the 19th century, a dollar was worth more than it seems. Today, it would buy you a simple dinner. Back then, that bill stretched in other ways. In many towns, money was scarce. When the bills ran out, trades, bets, and a small pouch of gold dust took their place. Having a fresh bill or a silver coin was like carrying a pass to almost anything: comfort, fun, or trouble. All it took was choosing where your boots would lead. Almost always, the path led to the saloon. More than a bar and glasses, it became the social heart of the frontier. Post office, courtroom, and when needed, safe. There, contracts were sealed with a handshake, and reputations rose or fell under everyone's watch. For cowboys, prospectors with gold dust under their nails, and travelers looking for conversation, it was the first open door. A dollar on the worn counter bought more than a drink. It bought time. It gave you the right to cards, music, a bath, and maybe a seat at poker. With luck, it brought company. With bad luck, it brought trouble. Between gold and guns, every choice was a gamble. And every gamble turned into a story, paid in cash and gold dust or whatever else was at hand. Walking into a Western saloon with a dollar meant facing the usual choice. Order whiskey. Not the polished liquid of today, but raw alcohol, rushed with tobacco, gunpowder, or pepper to fake some courage. A shot cost 5 or 10 cents, and that dollar turned into 10 to 20 gulps that scraped your throat. Beer at a nickel seemed like a better deal. The careful ones saved change for the next day, almost never managed to. After weeks of work, the cowboy leaned on the counter, ordered without stopping, and soon was singing off-key, hitting the floor or getting into gunfights, spending his single coin on a night of doubtful luck and very real risks. If the drink didn't do the trick, the bar tossed out another bait: gambling. At the tables and with the decks, saloons pulled in the bulk of their earnings. All it took was swapping a dollar for chips, sitting down, getting your cards, and imagining that with a flash of luck, that dollar could turn into 2, 3, maybe even a horse. It was an illusion that shone like polished metal. But the turn of the chips had an owner. Almost always, the house closed in the black. Faro was tilted ground. Full of tricks, it lured in confident cowboys and sent back few winners. Professionals swept the tables, sniffed out mistakes, and made their month's income off a ranch hand's wages. Out of that came legends like Doc Holliday, who'd walk in with a dollar taken from a cowboy's pocket and walk out with a full paycheck. The message stuck. A dollar bought you a seat and the fantasy of fortune. More often, it left you with a short story, a lesson in your pocket, and the certainty that the house knows how to wait. In the West, saloons went beyond cards and whiskey. They were spots for music, dancing, and deals made in the half-light. Some nights ran under quiet rules, others called for boldness. For 25 cents, a ticket got you a dance. For half a dollar, you had someone's attention for hours. Rooms upstairs could extend the talk as long as your pocket could handle it. For the prices of the time, it wasn't cheap, but a cowboy with a dollar could go beyond the piano. Risk was part of it. The girls knew how to bargain, quick with a smile and quicker with the purse. Many cowboys greeted the morning a little lighter. Still, after weeks on the trail, dust in their teeth, and silence at camp, that dollar opened a brief window into another life. The owners knew the math and profited with every bill exchanged. So think of saloons as a calculated break, a place to forget the road, trade stories, and test your luck before the rest of the night collected its price. Imagine walking through the door without looking for trouble. A dollar was enough for the rituals. At the counter, cigars went for 10 or 15 cents. Bags of tobacco cost about the same. Smoking wasn't just a habit. It completed the cowboy's outfit. Around the poker table, lighting a cigar together was like sharing a drink, sealing a truce. On the shelves, matches, chewing tobacco, and snacks. Saloons tempted without hurry. Many served free salty snacks, pickles, sausages, bread, that called for another drink. The same dollar kept you circling back to the buffet while your mug stayed full. Another door led to practical solutions. Some saloons had a hotel, restaurant, or bathhouse. With a single bill, you could get a hot meal, beans, bread, and coffee. And if the night dragged on, a bed in a shared dormitory. Then there was the comfort of hot water. In frontier towns, a bath cost 25 cents. 4 baths for $1 didn't lure the impatient. But for a prospector, each soak brought loose muscles and the brief feeling of being himself again. Not every dollar was meant to pay for goods. At many doorsteps, the rules changed. The right bill could make the dealer look at the ceiling. Another could get the bartender to top off your glass. If the law came around, a greased handshake could trade a cell for peace. Money to the sheriff might buy you a horse instead of a lockup. Green paper didn't just buy things. It bought silence and shortcuts. It's tempting to picture saloons as a one-man business, but they lived inside a bigger machine. Breweries and distributors bankrolled the bar and stocked the shelves in exchange for a cut. The free lunch wasn't kindness. It was bait for more rounds. Every nickel beer and every 10-cent shot pushed the customer to burn through his whole dollar before midnight. And it worked. In a good month, a cowboy pocketed $30. On a lively night, the bar took its slice. That's how the saloon became cash box, office, and courtroom, where debts were settled and partnerships born. Because there, the paper was worth more than a glass. It was worth flexible rules and open doors. A single dollar in the right pocket wasn't just an expense. It set things in motion. It crossed bars, slid across poker tables, paid off the out-of-tune piano, fueling deals and schemes that kept the West standing. With it, you bought your way into local history. The customer who drank too much and lit the spark. The gambler who stretched that bill until it turned into legend and, in a breath, lost it all. The cowboy who traded his silver for a smile in the saloon and retold the story for years. There, reputations were born, grudges grew, glances pulled triggers. It wasn't just glasses or cards. It was the stage where ordinary people gambled with fate. And when the dollar was gone, what remained was the trace, memories waiting for the next round. In the Western saloon, a dollar was a master key. With it came 10 shots of whiskey, a few hands at the card table, cigars, tobacco, a hot bath, a dance with the saloon girl, and sometimes a deal with the sheriff to dodge the bars. Brought to today, it would weigh like 30 or 40, enough to kill hunger, look for fun, or buy yourself trouble. Sometimes all in the same night. On the frontier, money wasn't just trade. It was an invitation. All it took was the jingle on the counter and the doors swung open. To drink, to gamble, to risk your heart, or to wake up broke with a pounding head. The coin didn't just pay for whiskey. It bought stories. From every toast, a legend was born. From every bet, a rumor. And sometimes a name carved itself into the myth of the West, leaving a trace the next day's sun couldn't erase.